Hello everyone, my name is Christina and I am the production artist for Onstage Publications. And today I am going to be taking you through a quick tutorial on how to set up your first digital program book with Audience Access. So, let's see. So you've just signed up for your community version and we are here on the home landing page. And we are going to click into the digital program and you'll see that we have a nice blank canvas. So the first thing you'll want to think about is the mobile theme. I recommend that when you have time you want to explore the 5 different themes. You can see which one fits best with your organization, your branding, and most importantly your patrons. So you can see we have accordion, classic light, dark, modern light, and modern dark. Each theme has slight differences and nuances that make them unique. They will make sense more visually once you have content in your program book. So for the time being, we are going to choose classic dark. And the next step is to upload your logo. So you can click in here in order to upload, or you can also drag and drop. So I have everything kind of set off to the side here, kind of pre-made and ready to go. So we are using Hartford Symphony Orchestra's logo and content for this particular demo. And so you can see it just popped it right in there. And now you want to make sure, so since we have chosen the classic dark theme, in this particular case for a classic dark background, that the logo is white and transparent. Okay, so our next task is to create an event. So we have 3 tabs here under events. We have the trash can, this is sort events, and this is your add event. So you'll want to click in order to create or add an event. And you've got your event title. This particular event is Beethoven 7. Now the event caption can be whatever you choose. We are going to add the dates for the performance. And of course you've got your event tickets link here. So this will create an icon on your event and the patrons can actually tap on it and it will direct them to this link and they are then able to purchase tickets. You will then want to upload your feature image. Again, I'm going to drag and drop and there's my feature image that I have created already. And more importantly, you want to now choose your publish date and your expired date. Now your publish date is going to determine when this event is going to be seen. So if you want this event to be seen right now, we're going to choose today's date. Now you can see it doesn't start until the 20th. So if you don't want it seen until right before that date, you'll want to change this date to coincide with whatever your event starting date is. Now this event is over on the 25th, so we will choose our expire date to be the day after in case anybody wants to go back and take a look and see what was going on. And now we can create an event. So you can see here we have our event created. And the image looks really nice. It fits very well within the parameters here. This is your icon to where if we were to click on it, ta-da, it takes us directly to our link, which is exactly what we wanted. So let's go back over here and now let's go ahead and put some content. So you'll notice that I tapped on the little pencil, which will give me the option to now edit this section. You can create sections here. We've got sections, we've got sub-menu items, and this is where if you have advertisers or sponsors, you are welcome to add them there. So our first section we are going to create, typically I will create main content as my first section, and now you'll need to fill out your section title, your content header. This is of course going to be the name of the show or whatever you choose. And now what we can do is we can really kind of copy and paste from an already formatted document, which will make it a lot easier. And so you can see it's all in there. I'm just going to center everything. And if you'd like, there are other formatting tools. If you would like to perhaps change the heading, if you would like for it to be a larger heading, you can see here heading 1 all the way down to heading 6. That's going to give you a different size of that text. You can also format the font size if you would like to do that instead. Maybe make that a little bit larger, and then we can make the title a headline if we would like to. And let's go ahead and create this, and let's just see what it looks like over here. You can see in your preview area right here, we can scroll down, and if we like what we see here, we like the way that the titles look. Everything looks great in the table, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so let's say you want to include a logo and represent a sponsor in that way. So you would click where you want that logo to be inserted. Click Insert, Image, and we're going to click our source button here. I have already preloaded a logo by clicking on the plus and clicking Upload. And so here's my logo. I'm going to highlight it and hit Confirm. I like to give logos and certain images a percentage on the width and nothing in the height. And what that does is that allows for that particular image to remain fluid throughout the types of devices that it's going to be seen on, whether it's a mobile phone or a tablet or a desktop. That logo will kind of maintain that 60% width no matter how it's being seen. So we'll hit Save, and there it is, and we can hit Update. Come over here, kind of check it out, see how it looks, and there it is. It looks pretty good. All right, so let's go back. So we have our main content laid out for our program, and now we are going to click our plus and add biographies. And we'll want to fill out our section title here. We are going to call it About the Artists. And our first artist is our conductor. All right, we will drag his photo in there. And let's say he is a special conductor and he is the feature artist for this particular show, and we want to make him stand out a little more. So we click this box here, and what that does is that displays his image slightly larger than the other bios. You can do that for everyone if you would like as well, if you would like everyone to have a call out or a larger feature bio. So let's see how it looks. So we've copied and pasted his biography in there. We'll hit Create. We can come over here, scroll through our program, and there's our artist. There's Joseph Young, nice large picture. So now let's add our second artist. So we'll come over here and we will click our Add button. And our next artist is Clarice. We'll drag her photo in as well. Paste her bio in. And now she has a quote, and so in between the quote and the bio, if you'd like to add this horizontal line, that kind of gives a nice little break there in the text. And now we can create, and notice we did not check her call out button, so it's flagging and telling me that my image is a little too large, and we will cover image size in another tutorial. But I believe it still should have taken it. So there she is. She works. Her picture's a little large, but that's okay. She still works. So you can see though, Joseph has a call out feature and Clarice does not. So if you would like for them to maybe match in size as far as their bio images, you can click her there, hit Update. And now both of the artists have larger images and they kind of fill the mobile space here. So that's kind of a preference, whatever you would like. If you would like for neither one of them to have a large call out photo, you can unclick that box for both of them. And now you can see they will run side by side. So let's say you want to click in here and see just what his bio looks like and see what your patrons are seeing. So there's his bio. And if we want to go back, we can tap into Clarice's bio. You can see the separation between the quote and her bio with a nice horizontal rule. And let's say both of these artists have websites that you would like to include a direct link to. You can use your pencil here and we can go back in to edit. And I've added a horizontal rule and now you can add text, visit artist's website. However you want to do it, you can list the actual URL. What I like to do, I think visually it looks a little bit nicer, is I have created an image. I use the Illustrator program and I've got it preloaded here. And again, I'm just going to choose a width at a percentage and no height. And I've made this icon here, visit artist website. It looks like a button, if you will. And so up here, I've got Joseph's website, and I'm going to tap up here, and I'm going to copy his website URL. I'm going to go to these three dots here. While this is highlighted, you want to make sure that whatever you're linking to, whatever button or tab or piece of text that you want the link, you want your patrons to tap on in order to get to that link, that is highlighted. So I got that highlighted. I want to come up here to my three little dots and then my link icon. And this is where I am pasting that URL. Now I want it to open in a new window because I'm going outside of the platform here. So hit save, update, and then we can do the same thing for Clarice. Add a horizontal rule. And we are just going to insert that very same image, keep it consistent. Same percentage size. And we're going to center it. And now here's her website. Come up here, copy that three dots here, and then my link. And that's my whole, you want that whole URL, you want the HTTPS:// and then whatever the site is, new window, and hit save, and make sure you update. So now we can come over here, and we'll tap into Joseph's bio, and there it is, visit artist website. Why, yes, I would like to. And there you are. There's his website, and you are free to explore and see whatever new things he's got coming up. So you've added your show content, you've added your artist biographies, and now we need to add our program notes. So we're going to click on our plus button again. And this can be done in several ways. It just depends on how you want your user to experience the program notes. If you have lengthy program notes, it can be a bit much as they are scrolling through if they run into just more text that they would then be scrolling through down here. That's what's going to happen if you add it in as main content or general free type. So we can kind of give you an idea here. So let's say we're adding program notes. And again, we have our notes already pre-formatted. And we can just add them in. these are our notes for all of the shows. And just kind of add horizontal rules if you so choose to break up the text. But as you can see, this is a lot of text. So if we create this, now we can scroll through and here it is. And a lot of times what happens is maybe people's eyes get tired or they get, heaven forbid, bored reading your program notes. So there's some other ways that you can do it. So we're going to cancel that one out. We're going to try it in a different way. So we go back to our add. Now you can also add it as a note or a list. And you can call it program notes. And you can have your title here. Our first piece is the William Tell Overture. There's that. And there's our first note. We can hit create. And then if we wanted to add a second note, we can hit create. And let's add a third one. Okay, so what we have here are 3 list items. So if we kind of scroll through here and take a look at the way it displays that. So we've got our program notes, and it's got the 3 different pieces, and you can tap into them, and there are our notes. So it gives it a little bit of separation and not as much text to scroll through, but it's kind of boring. Depends on what your preference is. So now let's try it in a different way. A lot of times what I like to do is add my program notes as biographies. And so I will still, up here in the section title, add my header as program notes. And for my person's name, I will put the composer or the artist of the piece, the piece title itself, and I've got an image here of Mr. Rossini. And now I can go ahead and add in program notes for his particular piece. I'm going to kind of format it a little bit to give it a little bit of a nicer presentation. I'm going to make my font size just slightly larger in that particular area. And again, I love horizontal rules. So we'll go ahead and create that. And we'll move on to our second piece, which is by Clarice. And there's her image. Here's her notes, and we want to make sure that we format them the same way that we did the other. So I took this particular section, centered it, and I made it an 18 point. Gave it my rule, hit create. Let's go ahead and add our third set of program notes. And these are by Mr. Beethoven. We've got his image there. It's important to be consistent throughout your bios and your program notes. And there we are. So now we have our program, we have our artists, and now we have our program notes. There are several additional icons that you can add to your program, and you can see them here. We have add service icons, or you have add social media. So let's say your particular organization has a concession, or you have merchandise or a valet service, and you would like to give a direct link to your patrons as they are perusing your digital program. So if you add the link right in there, and you can update the event, and you'll see it is displayed down here, and when you tap on it, it's going to go directly to that particular link. And now for social media, you can do the same thing. You can add Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And again, we're going to copy that full link. And there they are displayed at the top. So your service icons will be displayed down here at the bottom and your social media up here at the top. And this gives the patron the ability to access your Facebook and follow your social media. Now it's a good idea to incorporate some advertisers, or maybe you have some sponsors. So you're going to go down here to your advertiser sponsor section, click on your plus, and this will bring up the dialog box for you to add your images. You can see here they should be between 320 and 500 pixels in width and 470 pixels or less in height. So again, you can drag and drop your image in there, and you want to make sure you include the name and a link. This is the important part here. So we've got the websites pulled up. Copy that. And this is an advertiser. And this is internal here for us, so no need to worry about that if you're just dropping in a sponsor. And we're going to create. And you can see now that ad is right there. So this is now a direct. We can tap on that and it takes us directly to where that link told us to go. So it's very important that you include the links so that your patrons can tap on the ad and they can visit the websites of these businesses. So let's add a couple more in here. And we've got their address here. Create. And we'll add one more. Okay, so we've got our ads down here, and if we look over here, we're scrolling through our program, our artists, our program notes, and here are our ads, all three of them down here. And the more ads you have, the more they get stacked down here, and it kind of becomes an ad well. So there's a feature here that I'm going to show you. Let's go in and edit our title. And you can see down here, attach advertiser or sponsor. We can click on this paperclip, and we can scroll through. These are the ads that we have just added. So whichever one, if you have a specific sponsor for this program that you'd like to add, this would be the place where you can add it. So we're going to choose Covenant Living and hit submit, and what that does is that will now attach the ad to this particular section. And so as you're scrolling through, it's no longer seen at the bottom of the program. It's right here underneath that first section. And you can do the same thing with your program notes and your About the Artists. You can tap in and you can attach. Let's say we want to attach Keith. And now what that does is we no longer see it on the main page. When we tap in to the bios, there we see his ad. And it's going to be attached to both of those biographies. So that same ad is now attached to both Joseph and Clarice, their bios. So it's up to you if you would like to have your advertisers shown on the main page. It's best to attach them to main content or general content. Again, the bios, they will be attached to the bios, but you will need to tap into the bios in order to see that advertisement. The last piece I'd like to cover is the sub-menu item. So if we can go back out here to the main landing page, and up here in the left-hand corner are 3 lines. And if you tap in that, that's your main menu. And of course, we don't have anything set up here. Not yet. We will in another tutorial. We'll show you how to set everything up using this particular area here. But for each individual show, if you'd like to have its own separate menu, you can create that, and that's your sub-menu. So for this particular show, we are going to set up a sub-menu for donors. So we're going to call it donors. This may be a list of donors that have given just for this show. They may be different from the main donors. However you'd like to use it is created just like any other section. So we're actually going to create this as a list. So in our section, we can have thank you to our donors. And let's say for our first title, we can put the donation level and call out. And we can list our names. And you can do that for each particular level. And so on and so forth. And you can see now we can tap into each individual level and we can read our list of names. We can go back, and if we go back all the way here and we drop this main menu, we don't see it. So you have to be within the show and drop that menu down, and it becomes kind of a special menu specific for this particular show. That concludes our initial setup. I think we've got a really great program here, great content, good images and pictures, and I think our patrons will enjoy clicking through and reading everything and navigating through the program. So in our next tutorial, we will go over menu items. Thank you so much. See you then.